Maybe that's the problem. Shoot. And I wanted to, wait a minute. Did I put, wait a minute. Oh man, I didn't want to do that. Shit. Damn. Fuck. Hey, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Because I've been having some problems with my microphone. Can you guys hear me? Because something ain't right here. Okay. Now I'll fix the problem then. I fixed the problem. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. Yeah, I made a mistake here. Let me see if I can get these people on here. Let me see if I can get this popping. I might be able to get it going now. Hey, you guys, hold on for a second. Okay, now I see it. Now I see it. Okay. Yeah. It's popping now. All right, people. We're gonna get this. We're gonna try this again. Let's try this again. Okay. Let's try this again. Now, you guys should be, those of you who are on Facebook Live, you should be able, let me put my hat on because my head is shining like a mug. Yeah. Hold on, YouTube guys. I think I might, I think I may have fixed the problem. What it was is I got one jack on this is a new computer. There's a jack on the side of this computer that's, I don't know what's up with this thing, man. But if you guys can't hear me, let me know. Facebook, YouTube, you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me now? What do you mean Georgia County take over the BAW? What's that? Wake the hell up. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, it must be an alpha man standing near, player. Bank of Wakanda, nigga, please. Man, y'all clowning, man. Don't start clowning, man. What? Oh, some race soldiers posing as police officers gaffled some sisters up. Is that what you talking about? They gaffled some sisters. Hey man, I told you, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell you something. This whole thing with, black women getting beat on by these race soldiers posing as police officers and these Arab, Asian, and Indian store owners beating on black women. This is a consequence of black women talking about they don't need a man. Okay? Let me just say this here, man. Black women need a man now more than ever. Can y'all dig it? Oh, for real? Oh, he's alpha? Okay. Come on, man. Six women who own South Fulton, Georgia. Man, black women don't own nothing in Atlanta, brother. If black women don't own nothing in Atlanta, black women just be out there spending all their money on red bottoms and Hermes purses and Prada and all that stuff. Black women don't spend no money on nothing, owning nothing. Black women don't own nothing. Oh, and black politicians are in the same boat we're in. They don't control anything. They have no power, just like we have no power. And we have no power because of the civil rights generation. That's why. We have nothing. Y'all hear now you should be able to hear me now. I fixed this is a new computer. So this jack on over here, I had something in the jack, and once I took it out, then the levels start going up and down. So now we're good. So I just want to welcome my Facebook Live people and my YouTube live podcast people. Welcome to the Iceman Show. You tuned into the Iceman Show. More bounce to the ounce, and I say what counts. Don't nobody go home till the fat man gets his. What's happening, chocolate people? How's everybody doing? Everybody good? Everybody got enough to eat? Everybody got enough to eat? Y'all need me to serve y'all up some black-eyed peas and cornbread and some salt pork? Y'all need me to hook y'all up with some ham hocks and some oxtails? That's right. We don't. But let me now what Bella Lynn said here on Facebook Live. I know you YouTube guys can't see me, but can't see this Facebook platform. But we do have the power. And let me tell you, you're right. We do have the power and we don't use it. You're right, Bella Lynn. Beloved, we don't use it. We have an income of $1.3 trillion. That's our income. That now what they don't talk about is our credit. We spend over $2 trillion in credit. Did y'all know that? So in addition to 97% of our income going to white America instead of to us, that $1.3 trillion is going to them. Plus, they're eating off that $2 trillion we spend per year. That is not where 95% of that is spent outside of the black neighborhood. Now, we have to stop getting angry every time black men and black women start talking about the failure of the civil rights movement. Okay? We have to start talking about that. We can no longer just go, I don't want to hear it. You ain't talking about Christianity. I don't want to hear it. And you ain't talking about, kissing white zaddy and white mommy's ass. I don't want to hear any of that. Because the fact of the matter is, when when black men and black women were handling their business back in the 60s and those brothers came back from Vietnam, we had the power to destroy this country. And they knew we were going to destroy it. So what Kennedy did is he called Martin Luther King and all of his folks, and they went to D.C. And Robert Kennedy, along with JFK, they gave the SCLC. I think that was the Southern Conference Leadership Conference or something like that. Southern Christian Leadership Conference. I think they gave the money to the organization, not directly to Dr. King, but they gave a six-figure number, a six-figure check to Dr. King in order for him to go out here around the country, mainly in Chicago, LA, Detroit, New York City, Boston, most of, the main centers where the Southern, Northern migration, where those folks were, mainly, St. Louis, those cities. And when we went to those cities, what they did is Dr. King, he gave the check to Dr. King. You know what they said to Dr. King? And I'm paraphrasing because obviously I wasn't there. He told Dr. King, look, man, you got to keep these black people from destroying this damn country. Okay? Then they paid Dr. King to make that I Have a Dream speech. The speech was actually something else. And that's why very recently on Yahoo News, you noticed that they played the audio where Pearl Bailey is sitting behind Dr. King like this. And she says, Martin, tell him about the dream. See, we didn't know anything. We didn't know about that. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, those brothers in the Black Panthers and those brothers that came back from Vietnam, they was ready to tear this mug up. I'm telling you, they was ready to tear this country up. And they enlisted Dr. King and James Brown and other folks to try to quell black folks from tearing this country up. And now fast forward 50-something years till today, and look at our neighbor. Look at all these black churches around here. Huh? Look at all these $4, $5, $6 million sanctuaries, and yet you can throw a rock and hit a house that's about to fall over. Now, the root of the problem is white supremacy. We know what the problem is. But what I am trying to talk to you guys about is how we can stop using these horizontal social policies and involve ourselves in these other issues that have nothing to do with us, that has nothing to do with money. It ain't putting no money in our pockets. Okay? Because at the end of the day, what's more important to you? Taking care of yourself, taking care of your children. And the question that I pose to all of us, how many of us got life insurance? How many of us can afford it? And secondly, how many of us have assets, resources that we can pass along to our children? These are major questions that you should never go to sleep. You should never go to sleep without answering those questions. Because you may not have a job tomorrow. You might not have a place to stay tomorrow. Ain't nothing guaranteed to anybody. But we got black ministers feeding us a bunch of garbage. from a religion that was thrust upon us during a very violent and traumatic period in Black history in this country. And you got Black folks running around here talking about all we got to do is trust in white Jesus. If trusting in white Jesus did anything for us, then why in the hell do our neighborhoods look the way they look? If all we got to do is hold the white Jesus unchanging hand, if that's all we got to do, then why does the Black community look the way it look? Why does it look like the way it look? How come we don't have any Black grocery store owners? We have very few. We got a couple in Atlanta. We got a couple in other parts of the country, but nothing nationwide, nothing big enough to provide jobs to our people. We got young, look, let me explain something to you. When I was 18, 19 years old, they had the CETA program. Those of you who are my age, you know what I'm talking about. We had the CETA program. And the CETA program was a federal grant that cities could use. And you know who helped get that? You know who helped get that program off the ground? My frat brother, who's in the Omega chapter now. It was Marion Barry. He's the one that helped get that program off the ground. But I would happen to be on the West Coast then, and it provided a summer job for me when I was a freshman in college. Okay, and me, and even some folks that probably are friends with me on Facebook. Some of y'all probably were in that program. It paid minimum wage, but it was better than nothing. I already had a job at night. I worked in a factory with my dad. But then I got off work, slept a couple of hours. Then I got up and went to that job. But we don't have that now. And we should not be in a position where we have to wait on white zaddy and white mommy to give our kids jobs. And yet we got all these, look, y'all see this? Let me explain something to you. It makes me sick that we have all of my frat brothers and some of my sorors walk around here talking about creating mentorship programs. Oh, we just need to show these young Black men and women how to shake hands and how to look somebody in the eye and all that. Look, that's stuff that's supposed to be taught at home. See, if Black women didn't buy into this fantasy of feminism, these men would have been in the homes. Okay? These men would have been in the homes and they would have taught because my dad was in my home. I'm proud to say I didn't grow up in no single female head household. My dad showed me how to shake hands and how to address people properly and look people in the eye. I didn't have to go to a mentorship program to learn that. These Black girls and Black boys don't need mentorship program. They don't need rites of passage program. What they need is to have their daddies in the home. And sisters, well, you ain't no sister if you sitting up here not letting your child have access to his father. You ain't no sister as far as I'm concerned. If you're not letting your kid's father see his children, you're wrong. And you can talk all that, well, there was domestic violence. Prove it. Prove it. I'll wait. I'll wait. That still ain't no excuse for you to not let him have access to his kids. So as you can see, we out here naked. Y'all see that? There is no village, brother. There's no village there's no village in Black neighborhoods. You have no village under auspices of white supremacy and racism. You're a victim of it. That's it. End of story, brother. We need to stop playing. We don't need mentorship programs from the Qs, from the Sigmas, from anybody, from the Thetas, nobody. We don't need them from my fraternity. What we need is black men to get off their dead asses and start businesses where they can provide jobs for these young black men and women. Young black girls and boys have the highest, listen to me now, they have the highest unemployment rate of all children in this country. You know why? Because black people don't think it really is important to own a business so that you, even if you just got your family working up in there, we don't think it's important enough to start businesses. So what we do is we go out to corporate America and we ass kiss and we buck dance for a job and we beg and smile for butter biscuits. Yeah, I'm going to piss some people off today. And if you feel like I'm saying things about Christianity that you don't like, I'm saying things about civil rights that you don't like, I'm saying things about integration that you don't like, if I'm saying stuff about feminism that you don't like, unfriend me. Unfriend me. Because I don't need friends like you. Because you're a coward. And we need to stop cowardice. The reason why the black neighborhoods are matriarchal is because black women fell for feminism. And feminism is a subversive program that was created by the CIA. If you don't believe it, do your research. They created feminism and they interjected feminism into the civil rights conversation because they wanted to thwart the civil rights movement. And black women fell for the bait. And then they offered welfare. They offered nigger trinkets like welfare, WIC, Section 8, and back then it was food stamps, an actual stamp from the Department of Agriculture. You dig? So we got to have a real conversation in black society because we're not going to have this conversation on TV One or BET. They're too busy catering to white zaddy and white mommy and providing garbage entertainment and foolishness and niggerdom to our people. And now we got a generation of bum ass black men and women who ain't doing nothing but creating bastard babies and running around here talking about I'm a thug and going in and out the prison system. And the rest of them are ending up dead. And that's why our numbers of 40 million, 45 million, whatever it is, whatever the census says it is, that's why our numbers can't go up because we constantly got black men and black women on this hamster wheel of foolishness where if we're decent black folks and we went to college and we got jobs, we into trying to attain all the material possessions that we can. And that's a failure because when you're out there trying to pay for a house you can barely afford, and when you're out there trying to drive a car that you can barely afford, and you're trying to wear red bottoms, and you're trying to do this, and you're trying to do that, and you're trying to, keep up with the Joneses, and you're on this materialism kick. When you're on this materialism kick, at the end of the day, you're not going to have anything to pass on to your children. They say black women have more college degrees than any other group of anybody in this country, and yet your net worth is less than $114. Did you know that, black women? Did you know that? Your net worth is $114, and this is across the board. This is average. This is median net worth. compared to white women, which was something like $7,000 or something like that, $7,000 or somewhere along those lines. I've read different reports, but I think it was like 7,500 or 17 grand, 11,000 or something like that. It was between like 8,000, 7,500, 8,000 to $20,000. The average Caucasian woman. And she's got less education than you do. White males have the least amount of education along with Native American, which I ain't even gonna, compared to Asian men and Hispanic men. White men, there's a large contingency of white men who barely have a high school diploma, yet they own everything. Wonder why? Because their men concentrate on building, whereas black men are sitting around buck dancing, talking about, look at my degree. Black women are talking about, look at my degree. Look how many degrees I got. I meet black women. Like, I'll give you an example. Whenever I meet black women that got a college degree and they don't know what I got, the first thing they say, oh, well, I went to Howard and I did this and I did that. And I'm like, okay, that's good. Good for you. Good for you. They're like, well, what degrees do you have? Because I don't go around advertising what I have. Because it ain't nobody's business. You digs? It ain't nobody's business what I have. But since you asked, let me tell your ass. I said, hey, I got 2 master's degrees. They're like, because they're so used to running that. I got a degree, and most of the time it's in psychology, sociology, art history. You know, it usually ain't in nothing STEM related. It's usually not nothing, nothing that's going to pay any money, because most of these women got clerical jobs. You got a college degree and you was damn secretary. What kind of crap is that? But I get tired of meeting black women with degrees, and that's the first thing they want to do. They want to try to look down their nose at me and say, look at my degrees. Yeah, you went to University of Phoenix. You went to DeVry. That's on the same level as ITT, in my opinion. I don't give a damn about how many degrees you got. That's the first thing black women try to run on me. Look at my degree. I went to Howard. I'm like, I don't give a damn. I went to the University of Texas. Oh, you went to the University of Texas? Yes, I did. But see, that's why you know that a lot of these black women are full of crap. Because they love to run up on dusty brothers, or brothers they think are dusty, and start talking that I got a degree shit. Your degree don't mean nothing in a system of white supremacy. You still on the bottom. And if you look at where black women and most black women are in corporate America, where are they? Human resources. And you know why they're in human resources? Because that's where they put all the women. I've met at least 2 director of human resources black women. They think they balling. They making $150,000 a year. Or they think they shit don't stink. But yet they report to a white woman who's 10 years younger than them and don't have an MBA like they do. The white girl might not even have a degree at all. And yes, she's a vice president of human resources. You dig? So don't talk that degree shit to me, because I got too many of them. How many you want? Huh? Let me go get them. How many you want, black women? I got some degrees for your ass. See? This is two of them. This, okay? This is the bachelor's degree, and this is the MBA. Okay? Can you see that? You want me to send them to you? So you can feel safe? Fuck out of here. Ain't nothing about no goddamn degree. College degrees are not going to get black people out of the mess we're in. Attacking white supremacy and supporting black-owned businesses are how you build a community. We don't live in communities. We live in neighborhoods. When you go down to South Central, those of you from LA, when you go down to South Central, who you see running things? Koreans, Vietnamese, some Indians, and Arabs. They own all the stores. They own all the gas stations. Places you gotta go. Places you gotta go. Now, what is your degree your college degree gonna do about that? Fixing that problem, huh? Because like I said, when most of the black women I meet, they always work in human resources because human resources is where they staff all the women in the company. They put all the women in human resources, especially black women, because the reason why they do that is because you have no power. They put all the powerless people in human resources. You can't hire nobody and you can't fire nobody. You ain't got any power. Not no power that a white man or woman is bound to respect. So we got to have a real conversation about what's going on with us. And we got to talk about all the failed policies like civil rights, integration. That was a joke. We got black folks who will drive 25 miles to a job outside their neighborhood. You're spending money on your car, trying to keep your car running because there's no jobs in the black community. According to Dr. Claude Anderson, the unemployment rate amongst black men is somewhere in the 60% range. Black women is about 50%. See, those are the unemployment numbers that Trump ain't gonna never touch. Matter of fact, no president's gonna touch it because it's the truth. And when they talk about the national average, they're not deciphering whether those jobs are part-time, whether they're full-time, whether they have benefits. Because in my opinion, I don't count part-time jobs. I don't count temp jobs. I only count jobs that pay fringe benefits along with a paycheck. Because to me, it is a waste of time for me to work a job that has no benefits. I don't care if it's, well, I ain't even, like I said again, I'm mainly talking about a full-time job. But I don't talk to black when these so-called, when my frat brothers start talking that mentorship program crap, the first thing I said, dude, get out of my face with that shit. Don't get in my face talking about no mentorship program. What I want to know is when you gonna get off the plantation, start a business since you got a damn degree. When are you gonna get off the plantation and pull your head out of massa's ass and start a business so you can put your people to work? See, I get clowned from people in my family for being an entrepreneur. I get people in my family who will sit up there and smile in my face and then turn around and get on the phone and be talking shit about me, which is why I don't talk to anybody anymore in my family. Most of the people I deal with are fellow business owners. I don't talk to my family because a lot of them, they full of shit. And they be talking shit. To show you what kind of sense they got. I might be the guy that has to give your ass a job, and you sitting up there talking shit behind my back. Dude, that's not a smart thing to do. That's not smart. That's not smart, player. That ain't smart, man. That's not smart. So because I'm not a super slave and I don't want to be on a plantation and I want to do my own thing and set my own hours, or I ain't going to support you. Nigga, I don't need your help. See, sometimes you just got to tell people to their face, you can kiss my ass. Instead of sitting up there. See, I ain't never been an ass kisser. I ain't never been an ass kisser. And I've always lived and died by my own devices. Sometimes I've lost because of it. Most of the time I win. And one of the reasons why I decided to do this live stream, because I want to impress upon you that the way we're doing things is wrong. And they're going to continue to be wrong. And and again, when you see all these black women out here getting their asses handed to them, I mean, almost every week there's some white cop, or there's some white race soldier, or there's some deputized white supremacist out here, or some Arab, Indian, or some Asian store owner beating the brakes off a black woman in their store. You're going to go into somebody else's store to spend money, and you're going to get the brakes beat off of your ass? Now you look stupid. But these black women continue to patronize these white businesses. They continue to patronize these white businesses after they done beat their ass. And let me tell you something, black women, the consequences of you getting your asses, getting the brakes beat off of you by these race soldiers out here, male and female. How many times have you seen white women attacking black women? The reason why they're doing it, black women, is because 40 to 50 years ago, you know what you said to black men? We don't need no man. I'm independent. I don't need no damn man. Now look at your ass. Huh? You know, it get real hard out here. It get cold out here, dog. It get cold out here. It get real cold in that bed, don't it, ladies? You sitting up here talking that shit about how black men ain't shit. Okay? I can't even find a decent black woman today. Because whether or not I meet a black woman, whether she's college educated or she's just a normal working stiff, they're always a hood rat. They're either a suburban hood rat that speaks the King's English, or they're the Laquita type. Honey child, please, oh child. Talking that shit. They diamond and silk. Looking like some mammies. And then, and this is one of the reasons why a lot of you women, guys ain't checking for you. That's why a lot of y'all can't find no men. They're here. They're right under your nose. But these brothers ain't going to deal with no hood rats. Because see, I always tell black men, don't be fooled. See, you got a lot of black women that talk like valley girls out here. So they think, oh, she ain't a hood rat. She speak the King's English. Talking like a valley girl ain't necessarily speaking the King's English. But I have dated a lot of suburban black women who grew up around white girls, and they just as hood ratish and ratchety as the ones that grew up in the hood. See, I ain't no OJ Simpson type. I don't run after white women. I ain't never ran after a white woman. You dig? Every white woman I've ever dated or lived with approached me. If you a black man and you out here chasing white girls, that's because you ain't got no game and you thirsty. You a thirsty ass simp or a trick. Because any brother that's been around this country, you know, if you clean, fresh and so clean, you ain't got to chase white girl. They'll chase you. But we got to have a hard conversation, man. We got to have a hard conversation and talk about the bullshit that's popping off out here. Because I hear black women talk about the reason why black women are singers because black men ain't shit. No. The reason why you're single is because of your politics. And you didn't grow up in the house with a man. See, it's hard for a woman who grows up in a house with just number of women in the house. It's hard for her to understand a black man being in a position of leadership. She has a hard time with that because everything has been vaginal politics in her house. Your mama would rather you grow up without your daddy so she can get child support. So if your daddy wasn't there, it wasn't because he was no good Negro. It's because he wasn't allowed to be there. He can't bogart his way into somebody else's crib. And a lot of folks get together, they just drinking and smoking a little dro, and you know, you end up doing the do, and next thing you know, this chick gets pregnant. This man was never with this woman. Don't sit up there and lie on the man and say he a no good Negro because you was a jump off. You a weekend entertainment. Hell, half you women out here will be messing with married men. Don't get mad if he knocked you up and don't want to be with your ass or have had anything to do with that kid. He ain't messing his family up for you. But you got to hear this. And you got to hear this from men, not from no woman. Because see, black women don't never check each other. They'll be wrong as two left feet and then be sitting up here talking that shit. Won't never correct each other. See, back when I was growing up, the women would be in my parents' kitchen doing each other's hair because that's what Southern women did back in the 60s when I was growing up. They did each other's hair, and that's when they were talking shit. Having adult conversation. We just happened to hear it. But we weren't allowed in there. And my mom would not allow none of them single moms because it was a handful of them. It wasn't a whole lot of them, but it was a handful of them. My mom didn't let them women hang around our house. My mom didn't let no women with no men that didn't have a husband hang around that house. Whenever there was a woman there that was a single mom and she looked like she might have been a little slick, we never saw that woman again because my mom knew better. My dad might not have been a catch physically, but that it doesn't matter. All women see is consistency. And they see my parents owning their own home and having 2 brand new cars in the driveway. For most black folks at that time, that was unheard of. And we had a half-court basketball set up in our backyard. So when it got dark and we were out there shooting hoops, we had half the neighborhood at our house. Didn't nobody have no basketball court in their house? But we did. But feminism, you black women, you listen to Gloria Steinem, who is a self-admitted CIA operative. And so is Gloria Allred. They both have admitted that they have ties to Langley, Virginia. And you listening to them people? Feminism was part of COINTELPRO. And they went to the black women during the civil rights movement and they said, hey, sisters, hey, we all sisters in the struggle. But see, that white woman went back to her husband that owns every fucking thing, while you went back to Southside Chicago, where there were no resources, and you went back to Orange, New Jersey, and Newark, New Jersey, talking that shit, talking about you don't need a man and you independent. If you independent, you don't need no child support. Come on now. You need me to whip out the Webster's Dictionary for your ass? Independent women, they don't need no money. They don't need no child support. Independent, if you truly independent, you don't need no job. You supposed to have your own shit. If you independent, that's what independent mean. How many, let me explain something to you. I hear other races of women talking that feminist bullshit. I hear them saying, now I'm independent, but they stop right there. They never go as far as saying, I don't need a man. The only women I hear talking that dumbass shit is black women. And black women are ending up single by the droves. Because you're unbearable. And it's easy to talk that shit and wave your finger in the faces of black men when you're young, when you're in your early 20s and your body is tight and you still got them curves and that rack, that rack is just sitting up there, you know, you ain't even got to wear a bra. The rack is just, you know, it's just right there. Okay? And that booty, you can put that drink on, that Hennessy, you can get that glass and sit it on that booty. But when you get 35 and you done had 2 kids and you done been through hell because you brought it on yourself, like Eddie Murphy said, baby, you brought that shit on yourself. You done sat up there and brought all that shit on yourself. Now you done been beat down by the system. When you get in your 30s and you ain't worked out since you in junior high and that body done got flabby, that face done start sagging. It's a little difficult to be 38 years old and be overweight or flabby and be, you better do what I say do. You better come out here and pay these bills. You ain't gonna get no ass. That's why I tell brothers, stop your focus on ass. If you got to focus on ass, you ain't never had none. I have never seen so many 30 and 40-year-old black men who are virgins. How do I know? Because some of them are my life coaching clients. I have clients who pay me every week to try to get them out of sexual purgatory. I did not know there were so many black men out here who don't know how to talk to women. They're socially awkward. They have no social skills. And the women are just as bad. That's why every time you turn around, Match.com is running an ad or one of these other companies that they own with one of these other dating websites. They're talking this crap, and all of them are garbage. They ain't nothing but a bunch of fat ass women of all races who've been beat down by their own bad decisions. And now they on there trying to clown men and get free dinners and drinks out of somebody, because they know if they had to talk, if they had to talk for theirs in a bar or a club, they know most men wouldn't even look at them. I had a woman send me a message on Facebook out of the blue. I was like, who are you? She was like, oh, you're a nice looking guy. I don't even know. I set my profile to private. I don't even know how she looked at my profile. And we start going back and forth, and we eventually met. And this chick thought she was going to do a dine and dash on me. Black men, be careful. If I'm going to tell you right now, get off of online dates, especially POF and Match. Get off of them. Ain't nothing but a bunch of attention whores on there. These women are not looking for nobody. They already got somebody. Look, I do research on online dating for my new book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman Volume 1. Excuse me. That's this book. I'm sorry. This is my first book. The Game of Life According to the Iceman Volume 1. This is my first book. There is dating. I talk about dating in here, but I don't get deep into it. Now, my second book, The Dating Bible, I'm writing that right now as we speak. And I have to do research. I don't bullshit. Okay? And the research suggests, based on the data, that online dating is a joke. And there are 3 times the women on these dating sites. Why? Because when you don't work out, most of these women are overweight. 99% of them are overweight and unattractive. The other 1% are attractive, but they probably bipolar or schizophrenic. I've met women who look fine as hell off of online dating, and they had schizophrenia. I'm like, I ain't dating you. Oh, hell no. I ain't getting mixed up with you. Because I've gotten mixed up with women that have bipolar disorder. And let me tell you something. I'm in mental health. And, and I can tell you, that is no picnic to deal with somebody who's not responsible enough to take their medication every day, which this one woman that I dated did not. She went off the deep end every time she decided not to take her antipsychotic medications. Okay? They go over the deep end. And that ain't my responsibility because this woman wasn't my wife. Y'all see where I'm going with this? But we got to have a serious discussion, man. Black men, get off of online dating. That ain't for you. That ain't for you, man. There ain't nothing but a bunch of clowns on there. And they're making billions of dollars off of lonely, ran through females. They're making billions. Match.com bought POF. A lot of people don't know that. Plenty of Fish is owned by Match Corporation, or their parent company that owns Match. They own I don't know how many websites. And most of their customers are whom? Women. Because women are dumb enough to believe that they can be lazy as hell and be flabby and unattractive, and all they got to do is put some old stupid profile up and make some dumb smile that looks phony as hell and contrived, and all of a sudden they can just get, Tom Selleck, or they can get Denzel. Good luck with that. And and what's so funny to me is reading their profiles. They could be ugly as hell, fat as hell, and be talking about, I'm not, you gotta have a car. You must have a passport. I want to travel. I want to go on an African safari. Know what I say? If I was doing online dating and somebody came by my profile and said something like that to me, you know what I'd say? How many African safaris have you been on by yourself that you financed yourself? I'll wait. And you got these white supremacist females that be coming on there. No, they ain't into black men. No, they don't date black men. And will come on these dating websites and play like they're interested in black men, and then show up, get a free dinner, get a free drink, and then just skip out. I call it dining and dashing. That's what I call it. I call it dining and dashing. And I get men all the time send me emails to my Iceman, dude. I met this every time I meet a white female on these online dating sites, man, they act like they into me, and then they show up. I buy dinner, I buy them a drink, and then they run up a tab and then skip out on me. And I won't even hear from them after we meet that one time. I don't hear from them. I said, stop doing it. That's why I tell guys all the time, if you're going to meet women, meet them at Starbucks. If they don't want to meet at Starbucks, then their intentions are not honest. Like I said, all these women have boyfriends, husbands, and multiple fuck buddies. That's why they're not they're not serious when they get on there. They ain't serious. They just playing. They on there. Let me send the Iceman a message. Oh, he look good. Let me see. Okay. I had one that one that I met on Facebook. She tried to pull that last weekend. And I was on top of it, fellas. I was on top of it. You know what I did? I said, oh, okay. Oh, so you think you're going to you think you're going to assassinate my wallet, huh? Oh, I know how to handle wallet assassins. Oh, I know how to handle resource mercenaries. So what I did is I said, okay, meet me at this restaurant. Okay. And when I made sure, and I was late. I was fashionably late. And what I did to protect myself from dining and dashing is I sent her a text message right before I walked in, and I said, I'll pay for my meal, you pay for yours. And I think she thought I was playing because she sent back LOL. I'm like, LOL, I'm not joking. I didn't say LOL after I sent that to her. And I get in there, this some old, on a scale of 1 to 10, this chick was decent looking, but she still was kind of wrinkled, had that wrinkled face. I mean, she wasn't bad looking, but she needed some makeup. She just did a half-ass job and came to meet me. And body-wise, she had an okay body, but she still was a little too chunky for my taste. And she just thought I was gonna go ape shit over her because she had a round butt, a roundish butt. And I was just like, do you know how many big asses I've had that I've stabbed over the years? Lady, you ain't showing me nothing that I ain't seen before. You ain't showing me nothing I ain't seen before. Better get on out of here with that nonsense. And she went and bought a drink. And see, hey, guys, brothers, this is how you know you're dealing with a wallet assassin with these dine and dashing females. Here's how you know they about to dine and dash. They will get there early or on time and buy a drink at the bar. And instead of paying for that drink, they'll wait till you get there. See, I peeped that out. So I say, okay, you want to play this game, huh? So I went over there. I said, hey, let's go get a table. I said, we can eat, we can sit here or we can go over there. But it was just too many people around because they had all the TVs around the bar. So we got a table and we went over there to the table. And, you know, the first thing I told the server is make sure we got 2 checks. And boy, did she look funny. And instead of whipping out a debit card, this broke ass, she whipped out a coupon. Okay? See, this is how cheap women are. And when she saw that I wasn't going to pay for her drink, when the server asked her if she wanted another drink, she said, "Oh, no, I don't want another drink." But I bet you if I was paying for it, she would have got 2 or 3 more at my expense. Y'all see where I'm going with this? See, I ain't the scary Negro. I'll tell you to your face what's popping. That's why I don't have too many friends, because I'll tell you to your face, if you wrong, I'll step to you like that. See, I ain't one of these college educated homies. I ain't one of these college educated dudes that's walking around here being an ass kisser like a lot of black men are. I ain't that dude. You step to me wrong, I'm gonna step to you wrong. So if you try to pat my pockets, I'm gonna let you have it. I ordered my food and I ate my food and I paid for my food. Even when the server tried to insist that we put it on the same ticket or the same check, I said no. I said, I want my check. She needs to have hers. You cannot go out here buying these women free drinks and free dinners and you don't know them. You don't know if this woman is into you. You don't know if this woman wants to be with you. 10 times out of 10, she doesn't. And some men have a hard time, being faced with that reality that this woman ain't into you. She already got somebody. She just online bullshitting. And I noticed that the conversation went downhill once she saw I wasn't going to pay for nothing. I don't know you. You ain't my woman. You ain't giving up no draws yet. The only two, let me tell you guys 2 things. Ladies, you can get mad if you want to. I really don't care. Let me explain something to you. Guys, some of you young bloods, let me tell you something. There's 2 things. There's 2 kinds of women that get dates. Women who are fucking you and women who give you cooperation and exclusivity. Meaning you're on your way to becoming her boyfriend. Those are the only women who get dates. Everybody else gets Starbucks or Dunn Brothers or the Coffee Bean. You can't do what you did in the 1980s. These women are not your aunties. They're not your grandma. They ain't salt of the earth women no more. These women don't know how to cook, and they don't care to know how to cook, because in their mind, all what they're planning on doing is patting your pockets for dinner. That's why, that's one thing, black women, they don't have this uncouth. A black woman will right off the bat will be talking about, especially if she good looking. Well, we can meet at such and such restaurant, and it's always some expensive shit. And a lot of you tricks, y'all go out there and pay for that free dinner. She'd be like, well, I had a good time, and this shrimp scampi sure was good. This chocolate mousse was so good. But I'm finna go ahead and take this home to Ray Ray. Cause Ray, I know he ain't ate nothing, cause he been playing PS4 all day and Xbox Live, so he ain't had nothing to eat. A lot of you guys out here that be out here buying drinks and free dinners, believe it or not, if she took something home, she probably took it home to her boyfriend who ain't doing shit but sliding pipe up in her, and you ain't getting anything. I don't let women put me in a trick bag like that. I don't do that, man. You ain't gonna put me in a trick bag. Straight up. You ain't gonna put me in no trick bag. But a lot of you guys get put in a trick bag because you think you know every damn thing. Because a lot of you guys have grown up in single female-headed households where your mama told you respect every woman, whether she's a piece of shit or not. And I grew up in a home where my mom said you don't give women money unless she's your wife or she got your or that's your baby mama. Those are the only two women you give money to. But women today want to be treated like wifey, and you just met this chick. You don't treat women you don't know like wifey. That ain't how this goes. And that's why a lot of you guys be getting played when you deal with these females. And it is a result of feminism because these women feel they are entitled to get free shit out of you without the benefit of them giving you anything. Dating is not free. I talk about that in my new book, The Dating Bible. Let me tell you something. Dating is not free, ladies. If at the lowest level, at the lowest common denominator, his time is not free. So you don't show up expecting something for free and then try to clown people because he cheat. So what? You cheat. You shop at Ross. You shop at Marshall's. You shop at TJ Maxx. So it's obvious your ass is cheap. But I got to go out and spend, all my money on clothes and then spend all my money trying to impress you. Let me explain something to you. I ain't never impressed no woman, and I get plenty of women. I ain't never impressed no woman. I have, even the woman I was married to, I ain't never sat up here and tried to impress a woman. Never. And those of you who know me personally, find one woman that I tried to impress. I'll wait. Let's get real. Let's get real, people. We got to come to Jesus moment. Black men, while you running around here chasing women, what you need to be chasing is a business. Because I get tired of meeting women talking about, man, I like black men, but black men usually don't have nothing. So by the time I meet these women, they think I'm a bum ass nigga. I'm like, lady, I ain't no bum. And I'm not going to tell you what I own. And I'm not going to tell you how much money I got in my corporate accounts. I ain't telling you shit. Because I get these non-black women, they always go, well, do you own a home? I'm like, would you ask a white man that? Huh? Would you ask a white man that? What, you trying to pat my pockets? Get out of here, man. I don't tolerate that kind of nonsense. There's more lonely old women out here than there are men. And these numbers are going to keep exploding. They're going to keep exploding, fellas. That's why I tell you, the woman that's on the woman that you see that's 30 years old now, she thinks she the finest thing. She thinks she the best thing since concrete. And as far as she's concerned, she's above your pay grade. Just wait 5 years, brother. You'll be able to get her for 50 cents. In 5 years, she'll be trying to pay you for a day. Because a lot can happen in 5 years. Hell, a lot can happen in a year. Because a woman can blow up and get them chubby cheeks in a week. And I'm not trying to get on. I'm not trying to sit up here and say that everything's these women's fault, because it ain't. Because I'm telling you right now, if black men got their shit together today, black women wouldn't have any choice but to fall in line. But they not going to fall in line until black men stop clowning and stop acting like perpetual children. Why you think they used to call us boy? Because in their mind, you're a boy. You don't have your own shit. But black women, you have no hedge of protection around you because for the last 50 years, you've been talking this I don't need a man shit. And you're the only group of women, you're the only race of women who talk that shit. Nobody else says that. I have never heard a Latino woman say, hey, I don't need a man. I ain't never heard a Caucasian woman. I've known some hardcore feminists. I ain't never heard a white woman say I didn't need a man. They might say they're independent, but they don't say they don't need a man. The only ones who say that is black women. And that's why these Asians and these Arabs and these Indian store owners are beating the brakes off of y'all. And they're going to continue to do it because black men are like, I ain't getting involved in that shit. You say you don't need me. You say you don't need me, black women. So, hey, let that ass get whooped. Because I ain't doing shit but sitting here filming this shit so I can put it on World Star. While this Korean store owner beats the brakes off your ass. Fuck out of here, man. That's why you black women are getting your ass beat. You the only ones getting your ass beat out here. They ain't beating Hispanic women's asses. They beating your ass. And there's no black. Let me just say this here. And I got Mexican friends. I have Puerto Rican friends. Let me just say this here, man. There is no black and brown coalition where you church niggas and you mentorship niggas, will you stop talking that shit? There is no black and brown coalition. The only coalition, only black and brown coalition that's out here is between your ears. Because these people, they don't give a shit about you. There is no black and brown coalition. There is no people of color. It's just your black ass and my black ass. We all we got. We CMB, baby. We all we got. But you want to pretend. See, let me just say this here. No matter how much ass kissing we do, no matter how much bed wenching you black women do, trying to get with white zaddy, talking about swirling and all this other shit, the fact remains. You can talk about you LGBT. You can talk all that shit you want. You still under the system of white supremacy, and you will be victimized until you end it. And the only way to end white supremacy in this country as well as the world is to stop giving these folks your money. Every time you shop out, see, this is why black business owners got to step their game up. We got to start creating businesses where black folks can shop and buy our products and or services, and there's something that we can use, they can use. Because we got enough rib shacks. We got enough greasy rib shacks. We got enough soul food restaurants. We got enough of that shit. We got enough tax preparation services. We got enough of that sorry shit. We need tech companies. And the brothers that got tech companies, we need you to step it up. We got to stop playing around. I'm in my 50s, and whenever I talk to black men who are my age and older, they up here shucking and jiving and buck dancing and bojangling. You can't even have a serious conversation with most black men because we got so many clowns out here. But you want to stand around talking about mentorship programs. We don't need no more rites of passage programs. What we need is Black folks starting businesses that provide employment to our people. That's what we need. That's why I started my businesses, because I was like, I'm not going to work in corporate America no more. I did that already, and I don't want to do it anymore. You dig? I'm not putting up with racist jokes every day, because at my level, because I'm usually in middle management at these corporations, I'm tired of hearing nigger jokes. I'm tired of hearing slick comments in meetings. And when I decided that I had enough of that crap and I started my own thing, I was a lot better off mentally. I felt like I felt like the world was lifted off my shoulders. I'm not saying everybody can do this right away, but you can do it if you stack your chips. The problem with Black folks, the first thing we do when we get a job, we start buying bullshit. We start getting cars, clothes, and hoes. We gotta have the biggest TV in the house. We gotta have a 60-inch TV instead of getting a 40-inch TV. We gotta have a Lexus with everything on it. What you're doing is you're mortgaging your child's future when you do that shit. Just remember that. When you go, ladies, when you go spend $1,200 on them red bottoms, or you spend $2,500, you're gonna take your whole tax refund and spend it on a Hermes, a $2,500 Hermes purse, just so your girlfriend's gonna be like, "Ooh, girl, look at me. Ooh, I got this and you don't." You just mortgaged your child's inheritance with that behavior, because it ain't just the $2,500 purse that you blowing your money on. You dig? And those of you who are too offended by what is being said here today, I advise you to unfriend me, because you ain't of no use to Black people anyway. If you can't listen to this discussion and have it be thought provoking, instead you want to sit there with your arms folded talk about what this Negro talking about. We're in a mess, and we're in a mess because of the foolish decisions that Black women made during the 60s and 70s, and foolish decisions that Black men made during the civil rights generation. The civil rights generation failed us. My dad's generation, my parents' generation, they failed us because they didn't leave us shit. They didn't leave us nothing. They didn't even leave us dust. They didn't leave us shit because they were too busy buck dancing and bojangling for butter biscuits at the white corporation. And we left the Black neighborhood to starve with no money. That's why I tell them with when I meet Black women, the first thing they want to ask me is, what church you go to? I don't go no damn church. The hell am I going to church for? I don't believe in wasting my time. Religion is a waste of time. I don't care if it's Islam or Christianity or Judaism. All of that is a waste of my time. I don't need a middleman to negotiate with me between me and my God. And let's just check the facts, because most black folks that go to church usually don't deal in facts. There was no concept of the devil before the 1600s. Did y'all know that? There was no mention of a devil in hell. And it is a made up, this purgatory, this hell, this purgatory is something that these slave masters came up with. The Roman Catholic Church and the other Judeo-Christian handlers. There's no concept of hell or heaven. How many of you have flown on a plane and been up there like I've been on I don't know how many flights, military and commercial. And I can tell you this. I've been as high as damn near 40,000 feet up in the air. I didn't see no heaven up there. All I saw was clouds. There's no such thing as heaven, black people. See, they want you to believe that you gotta die and go somewhere and float somewhere, and then that's when God's gonna give you your riches. If you believe in that fairy tale nonsense, you a damn fool. I'm sorry. You get mad if you want to. Christianity is a joke, and it's always been a joke. And it's funny to me how white Christians never let their religion get in the way of they race politics. They never let religion get in the way of race politics, of their white supremacy, and their money. Never. Only black people do that. Only black people let Christianity dictate every facet of their lives, which is why we continue to lose. And it's something that Richard Spencer said, Mr. Alt-Right, the Alt-Lice, the leader of the Alt-Lice movement. There's something he said that really got my attention. You know what he said? He said, I don't give a damn about being fair. See, black folks walk around with this morality mentality. Oh, I got to be fair. Everything's got to be fair. Everything's got to be on the up and up. Yet you dealing with white supremacists who deal in unfairness. Now, how is that fairness working for you after 500 years? How's that working for you, black folks? Because last I checked, with Christianity, with your white Jesus, with your mentorship programs, with your civil rights programs, where you got Messy Jesse and Reverend Al talking that bullshit. Look at the mess we're in. Look at the mess we're in. You tell me if it's a success or not. I'll wait. Need a minute? I can give you a minute. See, it's time to stop shutting down the bullshit. We got too many clowns. We got too many shucking and jiving niggas in the hood. We got too many shucking and jiving black men. We got too many sneaky Pete. Hey, what's happening, young blood? The young blood. We got too many of them out here. You got so many old niggas out here bullshitting. They know they ain't producing nothing, so they just out here bullshitting. Got old ass black men out here smoking crack. I got crackheads in my family. Sitting up here talking about people on the phone for 3 or 4 hours and then sitting up there smoking crack while we on the fucking phone. I'm like, man, don't call me no more. Don't call me no more and you on that shit. Take your ass to rehab, you old nigga. Getting tired of old drug addict black men and women. That shit done got old, man. It's late in the day for the bullshit. We got too many old ass black men and women on that alcohol and on that narcotic. And these are the main ones sitting up here talking about somebody else. You up here talking about somebody else and you living in a trap house. Your house look like a trap house. No pictures on the walls. The walls all dirty, carpet all dirty, because all you do is sit around and smoke crack. Man, I done grew up around people like that. I ain't gonna cut you no slack on my show. Go somewhere else. I ain't gonna cut you no slack, player. I'm not. I have no respect for drug addicts. None. And I'm in mental health and I have no respect for you. Because there is no excuse for you to be smoking crack while we out here getting our asses kicked. And yeah, I don't talk to them people no more because I told them, don't call me no more, dude. We have no, if you're a crackhead, we have nothing to talk about. Go to rehab, clean your act up, then we'll talk. Otherwise, get the fuck out my face. In the black neighborhoods, we accept all kinds of bad fucking behavior. And nobody says anything about it because we got a matriarchal sub-society. Everybody else lives in a community and they live in a patriarchal society. We up here in a matriarchal society because we got so many ass-kissing black men who just want to kiss black women's asses and just to try to get some ass. I see that on Facebook. Somebody post something criticizing these women's behavior and here go the simps. Oh man, why you getting on the women today, brother? Don't talk that shit to me. I ain't your brother. When I look in the mirror, I see a man. What do you see when you look in the mirror? What do you see? See, I get tested every day. Every time I walk out my house, I get some Hispanic dude or some Caucasian dude trying to test me. And they want to see if I'm going to whoop their ass. And even though I'm too old to be fist fighting, I'm still nice with these hands. I had to tell a Hispanic dude at one of my athletic clubs over here, not too far from where my crib is. I had to check him because he thought he was going to pull that big bad Mexican crap. And I turned around. I said to him, I said, look here, man, I got to this machine before you do. Now what? I just stood there just like this and looked at his ass. Just like this. What you gonna do? Huh? You ain't gonna pull that big bad Mexican shit with me. I ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of you. You ain't gonna run that on me, dog. We gonna throw bows right here in this gym. You gonna get my point across. I'm gonna get my point across. I'm gonna beat the brakes off your ass. Always get some Hispanic dude or some Caucasian dude trying to step to me with that bullshit. Because they want to see if I'm one of these sucker ass niggas that's out here. Because so many black men, they start hitting, yeah, sir. Yeah, sir. Can I get some butter biscuits, sir? You start, every time a white you step to somebody non-black step to you, you start huckabucking and cooning and mammying and skinning and grinning. Hi, sir. You turn into Stevie. They's good white folk. Massa, he good white folk. He good white peoples. It's okay if he rape my kids. It's okay if he rape my wife. It's all right. He good people. Massa good peoples now. You just wrong about Massa Williams. He good peoples. Now he look just like Jesus Christ. Come on, black folks. We better than that. We are the original human being. And we up here getting hustled. We getting hustled by these dumbass white supremacists. These people ain't got no sense. They just violent. They're evil and they're violent. And that scares you because you don't want to fight. You would rather sit here and say, well, what about this? Well, what about that? Instead of just sitting up there being a man and putting your bows up, putting them fists up and say, you know what? I'm willing to defend what's mine. How many of you black men are willing to square up like that? I'll wait. I'll wait. And don't sit up here and try to act like just because you got a college degree that you too bougie to defend yourself. Huh? Come on now. They're paying you enough, ain't they? I'm willing to fight to the death to protect what I have worked for because I don't give a shit about fairness. That's why everybody should get that movie. When that movie come out called Race War, you ought to get that movie when it come out because Richard Spencer says, I don't care about fairness. All I care about is winning. Black men would rather lose and look good than win ugly. What do you mean, then what? Tim Palmer? If you got to ask me, then what? That's a problem, brother. Then what? You're supposed to know what that what is. Don't look to me to answer that question. You should know the answer to that question. If you're not willing to fight to the death for what you have worked for to protect your woman and your children, you're a coward. End of story. I don't want to hear nothing about no Jesus Christ. I don't want to hear nothing about Christianity. I don't want to hear nothing about the civil rights movement. I don't want to hear about integration. I don't want to hear about none of that shit. I don't want to hear about black on black crime because there wouldn't be no black on black crime if it wasn't for white supremacy. See, white folks don't mind sitting around all day long talking about racism because they know the conversation's going nowhere. It's just an endless loop. But when you start talking about white supremacy, then we can't talk about that. But we can't talk about that. They want to change the subject because that's the root of the problem. They are scared. They are afraid of genetic annihilation. That's their main fear. White supremacy doesn't mean that they are superior over you. It's that they have to create a system whereby they keep you down in order for them to stay up. They're afraid of genetic annihilation. Why? Because their genes are recessive. Y'all want a biology? Y'all want a quick biology lesson? School's in. Get your pad and pencils. I'm not talking about beating the shit out. See, this is how you know. You got to understand what these black men. Well, you can always smell a tinge of coon because they start talking about I never said nothing about beating white people's asses. I said defending what's yours. You're not listening, sir. I said defend what's yours. I didn't say go out here and beat all white people's asses. See, that's your assumption. That's your assumption. Okay? That's crazy talk, and that's coon talk. That's scary Negro talk. Sir, let me explain something to you. Right now, I can find a middle-class white family. I can find a middle-class white family who makes the same amount of money you do, same amount of children you do, and they're not teaching their kids anything other than white supremacy, because that's all they need to know. While you're sitting there talking about mentorship programs and all this crap that don't work, you taking your kids to church, you taking your kids to all that bullshit, and at the end of the day, their kids can be the same age as your kids, have the same college education, and their kids will move up 15 times faster in corporate America than your kids. That's white supremacy for you, dog. Now you try to sit up here and say, "Oh, calm down." Dude, I'm not, dude, come on, man. Don't shoot that white supremacy nonsense at me, man. Come on, dog. Come on, man. You sitting up here, I never said anything about us beating up white folks. I said defend what's yours, because they're gonna try to come take it. They may do it in different ways, but they're going to do something to antagonize you. And if you're not being antagonized on a daily basis from these white supremacists, might wonder why, dude. Maybe that's because you're already compromised. I'm not saying you per se, but I'm saying those individuals who think like that. Again, you don't have to. Hey, man, you ain't got to. Hey, dog, you ain't got to listen to this broadcast, man. You can go somewhere else. Teaching our kids to be doctors and lawyers, and they're still under the system of white supremacy and racism. Really, dude? Really? You know, Shaq is worth. Let me give you an example of how white supremacy works. Bill Cosby has all that education. He's worth $400 million, and he about to go to prison for something he probably didn't do. That's white supremacy for you, dog. So teaching our kids to be doctors and lawyers and get college degrees ain't gonna fix white supremacy, because you're just gonna be an educated Negro under the system of white supremacy. You're still gonna be in the same situation. You know, when they strung black folks up on them trees, they didn't decipher, they didn't decide whether to just hang sharecroppers on trees. They were hanging black doctors, lawyers, everybody else on trees. See, that's something black people don't want to see. Being resistant. What does him? Let me explain something to you. What does Bill Cosby not being a politician have to do with anything? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? He's got $400 million, and he's still a victim of white supremacy and racism. The first level, let me explain something to you. Let me jump ahead of you. Let's fast forward to Thanksgiving week, the week of Thanksgiving. How many of you plan on spending running up your credit cards to buy Christmas gifts on Black Friday? Do you know most businesses usually don't even get out of the red until after Black Friday? They don't. So, and you know who bails them out? Our $1.3 trillion plus our $2 trillion that we spend in credit. It is our money that keeps this country afloat economically. So the first line of defense is economics. Start buying black. And if you're not doing that, sir, I'm not talking to you personally. I'm talking to everybody. Good for you, sir. Good for you. But are you and then two, black business ownership. We got to have more black men owning businesses. That's one solution. You want solutions, sir? Let me give you some solutions. Black ownership, black business ownership. We're going to have to take that 1.3 trillion and start using that money as startup capital for our businesses instead of wasting $11 billion a year in black churches with black preachers who ain't nothing but hustlers. Creflo Dollar is only making sure that he's well taken care of. He ain't taking care of nobody else. Ain't nobody in his church other than him and his family living in a $2 million house. Everybody else is either taking the bus to church or they're driving to church in their car. That's the first thing. Black business ownership. Then the second thing is supporting black businesses. Diverting your income, what you make, whether it's from your business or from your job. And first of all, saving money, because black people don't save money. Save your money. And the rest of your money, try to make the effort. Obviously, you can't spend 100% of your money with black-owned businesses, but you can try, because I try. Even some of the ones who ain't that good, I still try to support them because they deserve my dollars. Now, if they act like assholes, no, I don't support them. We can't, just because you're a black business owner, don't mean you can shit on people, which is something we do. So those two things have to happen. Start businesses, then support those businesses. Out of that money come schools, hospitals, clinics, all financed by black dollars. From there, that's the foundation. From there, you take care of the political part. Okay? You buy and pay for your politicians. The reason why we have no representation at the state capitals and Washington, D.C. is because the black politicians that we send there are not bought and paid for by us. They get our votes, but that's it. Their money comes from white corporate America or white PACs. Black people are wasting their time voting. Voting never got any group of people out of poverty. Politicians don't work for the people. Politicians work for whoever cuts them a check. So for us to jump past the economics to the politics and expect politicians to be beholden to us is ridiculous. If you go over to Koreatown and you look online to see who the congressmen or women represent Koreatown, I guarantee it's somebody that look like them that they paid for, that represents them. But we have black politicians who represent the so-called black neighborhoods, and yet they go to Washington, D.C. or the state capitol, and they act like they don't even know us until it's time for re-election. That's why I keep telling black people, get off that vote, man. You got black folks out here voting like they slaves. Well, we died for voting, and our forefathers died, so we got to get out here and vote. You a fool if you think you can vote your way into prosperity in America. America was built on bullets, guns, and ass kicking, not on on winning. Fairness had nothing to do with it. And see, black folks love to talk that fairness shit. Well, this ain't fair. It ain't fair for us to be getting killed by these white cops. Well, it's going to keep happening. You ain't going to stop them. I guarantee if they went out here and shot an Asian person or a Jewish person, do you know what kind of hell would break out in this country? Huh? Do you know? See, we ain't got no protection, so if they kill us, it ain't no big deal. Voting is a waste of time. Let me say this again. Voting is a waste of time. You can't vote your way out of poverty. You can't vote your way out of not having jobs. I stopped voting years ago. They talk about, well, man, politics is local. Well, you know what? The local politicians don't answer to me. So why am I going to vote for them? Huh? I ain't going to be the only one cutting them a check. We all got to start cutting checks. Voting, there is no voting power. Just like saying consumer power. There's no consumer power. Consumers have no power, sir. Voters have no power. Voting, let me explain something to you. Do you really think Donald Trump got in there because of votes? Huh? Presidents are selected, not elected. And congressmen and state senators and state legislators, let me explain something to you. All those folks are bought and paid for by somebody other than you. And that's why those politicians do nothing for black people. You got black folks running around here talking about, oh, the midterms are coming out. We got to get out and vote. We got to get out and vote. Do you know how many, every year they talk that shit? Every year. Every year they talk that shit. Well, if we can get a majority in the House or we get a majority in the Senate, you know what? I don't even sit around talking about that shit. That's slave talk to me. That's slave talk, brother, sister. Man, them alphas are again, sir, those alphas are in the same boat the sigmas are in. We're all victims of white supremacy. I don't think you're connecting the dots. No matter what we do, we're still under a system of white supremacy. So voting or having black-owned banks is not the solution. Let me explain something to you. I grew up probably no more than a mile away from a black bank. Black banks loan out 80% of their resources to white businesses and white people. 20% they deal with their own people. And they have the nerve to call themselves a black-owned bank? Man, get out of here, man. Come on, brother. Come on, man. We got to stop the coon talk. That's coon talk. You can't talk about black empowerment and then turn around and start talking about voting. They run counter to each other. Voting does not help. We could have let me explain something to you. Bill Clinton, in one of his terms, I believe it's his first term. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember if it was his first term or his second term. He had a Democratic majority. And he still passed that miserable crime bill that locked up millions of black men and women and helped create and foster and cultivate the private prison complex. Now, what you gonna tell me next? Bill Clinton is our friend? We don't need to come together, brother. We don't need to come together. We don't need to come together. The only thing we need to do is be on code. That's it. When you walk in a room and I'm sitting there, all you got to do is look at me and be like, bruh, I got your back. Okay? You should be able to look at me and I should be able to look at you and we be on point. And I have a lot of Sigmas on both sides of my family. And I got a lot of love for them cats. But and I know you're joking. I know you're joking about some of the stuff, but what I'm trying to convey to you, brother, is this. While you might have your shit together and you got your businesses popping, a lot of these black folks, man, they have no idea what you're doing. They have no idea. And that's the problem. I try to explain to family what I do. And instead of them trying to understand, what they do is turn around and talk about me behind my back. And then they wonder why I don't come around. While they're sitting there barely getting by, bullshitting, I'm doing very well. And instead of trying to get gamed up, they sitting around like slaves do, talking about people. That's how black folks do business. All we do is sit around shucking and jiving and bullshitting. And we got to stop doing it. Right. And that's good, because I try to do the same thing. But again, I'm telling you, man, a lot of black folks don't want to hear nothing about entrepreneurship, brother. I know you already know that. If entrepreneurship was something that that black folks easily got into, then we'd have more black business owners. Instead, we have very few, because black folks would rather run out here and work for Johnson & Johnson instead of working for themselves. And then be getting called nigger at the damn job. You're right. Exactly. Thank you, Mr. Palmer. It's plantation psychosis. You'd be surprised, brother. Let me tell you something. I got guys in my own fraternity who are happy to buck dance for them butter biscuits. Hey, let me tell you something, Sigma. Hey, I ain't afraid to call them fellow alphas out. I done called them out before. That's why I'm not active. Dude, I ain't active. I ain't been active in years. I ain't been active with a grad chapter. I ain't been, and a lot of frat, they'll be like, oh man, Fred, see, that's why, we need cats like you to be active. No, you don't. Because when I needed you niggas, you weren't there for me. You weren't there, dog. When I needed y'all, you weren't there. I've seen guys at the grad chapter level that I broke bread with for years. And when them guys, when things happened to some of them guys, you know what they did? They just let them guys twist in the wind. That's just what we do. We don't give a shit about each other. But we've been taught to not give a shit. That's why we got to start calling people out, and we got to have these tough conversations, because if we don't have them, we're going to continue to fall behind everybody else. And there is no black and brown coalition. Ain't nobody caping for us. But we out here caping. Or we out here, I'm caping for LGBT. You got Man, I get so sick of black men, especially on Sirius XM, getting on Urban View Radio talking about, well, I'm a gay man, and I'm wondering why brothers, heterosexual brothers, don't want to have a conversation about LGBT rights. First of all, you ain't got no damn rights. You ain't black. I can't decide that I don't want to be black today. You can decide not to ride the Hershey Highway. Your behavior is sexual deviancy, and I have a race problem. Let me cut this light on. We have to get serious. We have to stop beating up on black men and women who start their own businesses. I've heard this from other black people. I thought it was just me. They're like, oh man, my relatives was talking about me behind my back too. So, oh man, you don't want to be on that plantation no more, brother? What's wrong? Them butter biscuits ain't yummy no more? Nah, brother, I don't want no more butter biscuits. The only time I want to talk to Mr. So-and-so and them is when they gonna cut me a reparations check. Otherwise, we ain't got nothing to talk about. But I get into it with black people all the time because black people are hard-headed. They don't want to have this kind of conversation. The black people would rather be looking at Medea, looking at coonish, mammy-ish shit like that. They'd rather go look at Medea than to have a conversation, a serious conversation about white supremacy. And then we get mad when one of these race soldiers posing as police officers kill our asses. Or we get one of these deputized white supremacist citizens that decide they're going to kill us. They're out here killing, man. And see what makes us really look bad, brother, sisters, is they're killing our kids and our women and us. They ain't showing any respect to us. At the top of the hour, I talked about how this young brother in Michigan? Yeah, Michigan. This race soldier gonna sit up here and shoot at him because he knocked on the door and asked for directions. He wasn't trying to rob them, but they would have lied when the police got there. They would have lied, said, "Oh, that nigga tried to break in here. He tried to break in here. That's why I shot his ass." That little white supremacist that was mailing them bombs to black people in Austin, Texas. He was a white supremacist. The one that shot up that school down there in Santa Fe, Texas. He is in an international white supremacist group. See, this is stuff y'all don't even know. The guy that shot up that church in Sulphur Springs, what is it, Sulphur Springs, Texas? The guy that shot them 26 people in that church, he was in a white supremacist group. Dylan Roof was in a white supremacist group, yet they said he was a lone wolf. That guy that shot up that Waffle House, that tried to break into the White House, he was part of a white supremacist group. But yet the media ain't saying anything about this shit. I got this information from black people doing their research. Definitely didn't get it from none of these coons and these mammies out here. But the feminism, ladies, I'm going to have to get on y'all. We're going to have to get away from this feminism. Feminism is a bullshit social construct. It has no redeeming qualities. It has no theory to it. It's not part of the women's rights movement. Women's rights, feminism, two different things, not the same. Okay? They're not the same, people. And I'm telling you, ladies, the longer you subscribe to feminism, the high likelihood you're going to die alone. Because there ain't a man, there ain't a black man, white man, a man of any race who's going to put up with your ass. The last thing a man wants to do is come home to a woman who's trying to kick him in his balls. That's why black men and black women don't get along. Because black men are trying to be a man, and then you sitting up here trying to circumvent everything he does and undermine everything he does. And then when you don't put up with it, then you a misogynist. I mean, you got Morgan Freeman, a.k.a. Uncle Ben. He ain't even touch nobody. He ain't even leer at nobody. He just said some, hey, what's cooking good looking? You know, he said one of them 1975 lines. That must be jelly because jam don't shake like that. And these white women trying to turn that into some sexual misconduct. Come on, man. You black feminists are sitting up here aligning yourself with these white supremacist feminists. The only men they going after is black men. They got Bill Cosby's ass on some humbug shit. Now they sitting up here trying to shut R. Kelly's ass down. Let me explain something to you. If R. Kelly committed a crime, his ass would be in jail. And if he did, and those prosecutors and those families just took the money, which most of those women did, they took the payout. That's why they do that. Hey, if we give you this $250K, are you going to drop these charges? Yeah, because we ain't nothing but we just some hood rats over here. We ain't got nothing to eat. Our kids is hungry. So, you know, them broke assholes took the money. And when you take the money, you sign that agreement saying you dropping charges. Let me tell you something. Somebody said to me one time, talking about, well, they went after Harvey Weinstein. No, they didn't. Harvey Weinstein turned himself in. They didn't go after Harvey Weinstein like they went after Bill Cosby. Do you really think Spielberg and Geffen and all these other folks, these other Jewish folks in Hollywood, do you really think they're going to let Harvey Weinstein do some real time? Huh? Do you really think they're going to try to... Let me tell you something about these white feminists. When the O.J. Simpson case was popping off in the mid-90s, do you know how much money these white supremacist feminists got because they wanted to try to act like black men are out here raping white women willy-nilly style? Remember that? They built an industry on OJ's ass. These white supremacist feminist groups, they only come around black women when they want to take a black man down. You don't never see their ass out there going after their own men. If Harvey, I'm gonna tell you what Harvey Weinstein gonna do. I could be wrong. I stand corrected. But let me tell you what's gonna happen to Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein's gonna plead down to indecent exposure, and his lawyer is gonna be like, hey, no sex offender registry, no sex offender registry. And Harvey Weinstein is gonna skip off into the darkness, maybe paying out a couple million, and that's it. And all the Jewish folks in Hollywood are going to be like, nah, our boy ain't going to do no time. Now, let Bill Cosby's ass do time. Our boy ain't going to do time. So you black feminists, you look like a fool aligning yourself with these white supremacist females. Because all they do is go after black men. They don't never go after their own men. They don't never go after their own men. Every time you look around, it's some black man they going after. And you got black women who are all too happy to join them and be on CNN and MSNBC talking shit. Come on, man. For a black woman to sit up here and say she's a feminist, do you know how wrong you are? Because they're not holding white males to any standard. Just like that white, let me tell you something. When white folks get in trouble, they get reassigned. White folks don't get fired. Or if they do, 5 seconds later, another white person's over here offering them a job. Bill Cosby's going to get 5 to 10 years. Maybe he'll be able to do 3 and be out. Hopefully his old ass can survive that long. But he's going to do some time. They might even throw the max at his ass. And all you black women running around this motherfucker talking shit. Exactly. Exactly. There was a white dude that violently raped a white girl at a college about 3 weeks ago. And that woman had the nerve to take her ass up in the courtroom and tell the judge not to give him major time because she says she don't want his life to be ruined. Okay? These are the games they play. Even when they rape their own women, their own women will go in court and say, "Hey, nah, Johnny don't need to do no real time. You don't need to do no real time." No, I ain't talking about that Stanford dude. I'm talking about another guy. Because there have been several cases of white males rape, these college-age white males raping. And this woman, the one who was raped, the victim, went to court and said he should not be punished severely for I forgive him. Let that been a black man that done that shit. Okay? What I'm trying to get you guys to understand is that the system of white supremacy is not as powerful as you think it is. It's not. It's only powerful because we got a bunch of black people out here who want to keep it going. They help the system continue to thrive. Because black folks don't want to get on code. We want to keep playing games. and then sit up here and drink alcohol and smoke weed and whine and cry about racism. Racism ain't the problem. It's white supremacy that's the problem. And just like I said, when you build your economic system, on top of that, you build your political system. And you make sure all your politicians answer to us. Why? Because we're paying their asses to do so. So they are to go to the state capitol and go to Washington, D.C. and do our bidding. Then on top of that, you have social order. They respect us because we have our own economic base. See, economics is the basis of everything. You can't have shit in America without economics. But we seem to think that politicians should do our bidding for us just because that's the right thing to do, because we voted for them. And time after time, these black voters keep getting screwed over, whether the politician's white, black, whatever, because you didn't pay them. I remember one time I was watching this show and there was this black politician and there was this old civil rights buffoon on the show. And the old civil rights buffoon thought he could walk in the office of this very powerful city councilman and talk shit to him. And the black politician said to him, he said, "How much money did you contribute to my campaign?" And Mr. Civil Rights was like, "Well, none." He said, "So why am I going to do your bidding for you? Politics ain't free." And Mr. Civil Rights, Mr. Preacher Man, Mr. Rev, stood up there looking like a fucking fool. He looked like a damn fool. Now, this was just a show. This was just a drama, a show, an hour-long show. It's been canceled since then. But that really got my attention. He said, "Why should I do anything for you?" Why? He said, "You should do something for your people." He said, "Why? Why? I do something for the people who pay me. Everybody else can kiss my ass." That's what he said. And Mr. Civil Rights, Mr. Integration, ran out the office in a huff. Mr. Moral Majority. Morals ain't gonna fix this problem. Money will fix this problem. You ain't gotta lift a gun. You ain't gotta shoot nobody. You ain't gotta beat nobody's ass. All you gotta do is stop spending your money with their businesses. But if we can get 100, 200, 300 black folks to do the same thing, that's power. But you got so many coons and so many mammies out here that got to go out there and blow all their money. As soon as Black Friday come around, they got to start blowing all their money on Christmas gifts. If black folks spent less than half of what we usually spend on Black Friday leading up to Christmas, it would cripple the economy. See, that's the kind of power. It's just like the NFL players. Look how weak they look. They let these white owners and they let Donald Trump talk to them any old kind of way. And yet the only reason why the NFL has risen to the level that it's at today, where you have all these people watching the NFL, watching these teams play, is because of the black players, not because of the white ones. That's why they're praying that Tom Brady will never retire, even though it's going to come sooner than later. Because they know if they done already lost what's that fool's name? Oh shit, man, I forgot dude's name. Manning. They already lost. He already retired. No, Eli's still playing, but Eli ain't the draw that his brother was. Peyton Manning. But now it's all, that's why they got that. That's why they're trying to keep Tom Brady from retiring. Because his white face around all that sea of black players in the league, they know he puts asses in them seats. And believe it or not, a lot of these white NFL fans do not like those black players, even though they'll help them win a Super Bowl if they get the right coaches and the right players on the team. But those black football players, those black NFLers look like fools. They making them look like little children because they don't have the power to shut the league down. You can't get all those star players and all those teams to stand together. They got too many white women to chase. They got too many pool parties to throw. That's why I don't feel sorry for them NFL players that end up losing everything. I don't feel sorry for their asses. When you go out there and blow all your money on pool parties and parties at clubs trying to chase women, I ain't got no respect for you, dude. These NFL players are the biggest simps and tricks. And they getting punked by fat white dudes who ain't never played any kind of sports, let alone flag football. But they don't realize how much power they have. Unlike the players did, the University of Missouri football players did the other when they said they wasn't going to play 2 or 3 years ago. Y'all remember that? They said straight up, we ain't going to play. If this kind of nonsense keeps up on campus, we ain't going to play. And y'all going to lose $1 million every weekend. That's power. What the brothers in the NFL are doing is cowardice. I'm not saying I got all the answers. Matter of fact, I ain't saying I got half the answers. What I'm saying is I'm just putting this information out there so that I can get your wheels turning. Because a lot of folks want to sit up here and attack me for trying to get you to think like an independent adult thinks. Because we don't do that. We think like children. It's somebody else's problem. Straightening all this stuff out is somebody else's problem, not ours. That's our mentality. It is. But I'm hoping that I can get us pointed in the right direction, if nothing else, to get you to start thinking about some of the things that are going on with us and why we're in the condition we're in right now and how we can get out of this mess. I'm not saying everything's absolute. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but we have to start doing something now. Because they're going to, people say, I had this what really had me tripping. They had the nerve. I had somebody tell me one time that they asked me, they said, what does economics have to do with these white supremacists out here killing us? And I said, you know what? If you got to ask that question, even if I told you the answer, you wouldn't understand it. because there is a direct connection between economics and violence that is exacted against us. That's how it works. If you're giving people trillions of dollars every year without anything in return, no jobs, we don't demand jobs from corporate America. We don't demand anything from them. But yet we give them our money. Some of us are all too happy to go spend money on Prada and Hermes and Louis Vuitton, and ain't none of them companies got black people that work up in there. There was a biracial black guy that used to work for Versace. And he worked his way up from working in the store to being one of the store managers at one of the premier Versace stores. I don't know if it was in Vegas or LA. I can't remember where it was, but it was a high performing store. And he said that the manager that was training him, every time a black customer came into that Versace store, he put a code in the computer when they got ready to pay. And since they thought he was white, they told him that, oh, we put this code in to let corporate know that this is a black customer. Okay? Y'all see that? Now, what he should have done was he should have kept his mouth closed and got proof of it. What this dumbass Negro did was he went and told them that that was wrong and that that's not fair, that they are doing that to black customers. And from that point on, what they did is first of all, they fired his ass. They demoted him. Then they fired him. What he should have done was got the information and the documentation, and then he should have just went to the press or wherever he was going to go and showed them the type of discriminatory practices that they had in that store. First of all, I don't buy Versace. I'm not buying no $2,500 shirt. We shouldn't have our black asses up in there anyway. See, we always trying to front. We shouldn't be buying that garbage anyway. It ain't worth nothing. I don't get off on that stuff. Bill Gates is worth over $85 billion. And every time you see him, he look like he just bought some clothes from Walmart. Now that might just be his style. But there's some other billionaires that I've seen pictures of, and they're just wearing regular old clothes, T-shirts and jeans like everybody else. But black men, we got to go out and buy the most expensive shit. And we still ain't getting no women. Because at the end of the day, what a real woman is interested in is two things: financial security and physical security. Now, the physical security thing is relative. Why? Because even if you're not, with me, I bench press over 300 pounds. I'm pretty strong for a short guy. But you got men who are of my same height who may not physically be able to get somebody off of them. What do? Most white males are not physically capable of getting a brother up off of them, even a brother smaller than them. So their way of meeting that deficit is to own a gun. That's why most white males, whether they're white collar or blue collar, they own a gun. And it's not to shoot other white folks. It's to shoot your black ass. They're always fearful of black men. Which is why I tell brothers to get their Second Amendment game up. I'd like to see you go out there and fist fight somebody with a gun. Good luck with that. So women, they're willing to let the physical security part go, but they not going to compromise on the financial security. And see, black men provide no financial security to their women because we're too busy focusing on working out there on the plantation instead of building our own shit. And again, I'm gonna say this again. One of the reasons why a lot of black men don't try to start businesses like I have done and some of you have done is because we get clowned by our own people. I get clowned by people in my family. Oh, what you writing a book for? Because I don't want to end up like your old ass. That's why. I don't want to end up like you. Not that writing a book it has a bearing on that one way or the other. But I tell these old niggas in my family, the reason why I'm doing what I do is so I don't end up like your bum ass. Being 60 years old and ain't got shit to show for it. That's why. I don't want to end up being a bojangle ass nigga at 60. But we got to get off the bullshit. Black men got to get off the bullshit. I ain't really talking to the black women about that shit because women gonna be women. That's not a woman's job to take care of the whole goddamn neighborhood. That's our job, not their job. And because we got so many weak ass Obama-like black men out here, these black women are on their own. Our children are on their own. Because we got too many black men walking around talking that shit and playing. We know how to be slick. We know how to have swag, but we don't know how to create businesses. Don't expect anybody to respect you if you don't have shit. Black men don't understand that. You don't crawl between a woman's legs and possibly have a child with her and you don't have any resources. Yeah, she shouldn't do it either. But we know white daddy will give her welfare and give her Section 8. They'll give her a place to stay. Yeah, it ain't going to be the best accommodations, but they'll give her a place to stay and some food stamps. Well, till Trump got his ass in there. You notice the only women, you notice the only people black folks who are really mad at Trump's ass is black women. Low class black women. Some middle class black women too, but mainly working class black women and impoverished black women. Because they know they getting ready to cut off them nigga trinkets. Hey, you can't just get TANF like you used to. See, the illegal immigrants have figured that out now. You can't just cross the Rio Grande and come over here and get a check like you used to be able to and have an anchor baby. You can't do that no more. Up here where I am, ooh, these Central Americans and these Mexicans are real nice up here. They ain't talking shit like they are down there in California. Oh, they ain't talking shit. See, in California, they done got emboldened because of them weak ass niggas down there running from them damn Mexicans. You talking about you a thug, but you running from Mexicans. But see, they cutting their welfare off. They fixing it now where, you know, if you get SNAP benefits, you got to go out there and work for 30 hours a week doing community service. Them women don't want to hear about that shit. They want to be able to go get their black and miles at the Chevron station and go home to their boyfriend, roll a blunt, sit there and smoke dro all morning and fuck like they've been doing. I'm not saying all women on welfare do this, but a lot of them do. So now they drug testing their ass and making them have to be somewhere during the day. So now they said instantly hundreds of thousands of people dropped off the SNAP rolls. Instantly. Within a matter of a month, 2 months, a whole bunch of people dropped off out of the SNAP benefits program. And some of them even dropped off the TANF program where they get money, temporary assistance for needy families. Because there ain't no more free ride no more. And a lot of these black women who are complaining about Trump, that's why they complaining, because they know that the jig is up. The welfare ride is over. The free hayride to Welfareville is over. And these black women that have been out here bastard baby making, now these women are realizing that the jig is up. And they're like, oh shit, Trump getting ready to put us in a position where we ass out. They don't want to hear that shit. They want to hear about more benefits. Bring Obama back so we can go get some more nigga trinkets. Trump is shutting that down. He's shutting it down. And for good reason. I'm glad he's doing it. I'm not a Trump supporter. You will never see me with a Make America Hate Again hat. But I support that. Because welfare doesn't do anything but make people lazy. I'm thankful that my family never got on welfare. We just did without. That's what decent people do. They do without. They don't go get on welfare. But we love welfare. Black women love welfare. Not all of them, but a good number of them do. They love welfare. And all of a sudden, you know, Trump is their enemy because he's cutting their asses off. We need to be self-sufficient. And getting welfare is not going to help you because by the time your children reach 8 years, you know, adulthood, you're going to have to get your ass out there and work anyway. What kind of job do you think you're going to get when you've been sitting on your ass for the 18 years and you don't have any kind of education, no kind of certification in anything? What kind of job do you think you're going to get other than working at Burger King? That's why, have you ever noticed, especially in the South, have you ever noticed that you see old ass black women my age and older working at McDonald's and Burger King and Taco Bell, and they look miserable? That's because while you and I were going to college, they were fucking and smoking blunts. And now that they're too old for that shit, and they probably done got sick a couple of times drinking all that alcohol, Now they want to square up and do things right. And now, now they own POF talking about, I'm looking for somebody to take me somewhere. I got 6 kids. Can you handle that? I'm looking for a real man. Yeah, that shit be cracking me the fuck up, man. People and I'm running simultaneously. I'm running my YouTube podcast along with my Facebook podcast. they know the people that have been listening, because I've been doing the Iceman show since 2010. I've been doing this show for 8 years, off and on. Okay. And I do it because my listeners demand it. Because a lot of these brothers they get no game from black men my age, because we got too many black men out here talking that mentorship shit, telling brothers to go to church. I don't need to go to the Potter's house. I don't need to go see TD Fakes. I don't need to go see him. I'm not going to help him buy another helicopter. I'm not going to help him go buy a jet. If he was really doing right by his congregation, everybody would have access to that jet instead of just him or Reverend Price or any of these other shuckers and jivers or Creflo C-Note Dollar. Can't say nothing about Bishop Eddie Long because he's deceased. Some of y'all probably still love Bishop Eddie Longstroke, aka Reverend Peaches. Fuck out of here, man. We got to get out the religion situation, man. The religion don't do nothing but make us weak. You don't need no reverend to negotiate on your behalf. You can talk to God yourself. You don't need to sit up here and say, hey, Reverend so-and-so, Reverend Johnson, I need you to speak for me. God don't hear me, but I know he hear you. Fuck out of here, man. Instead of sitting up there at church for 3 hours, I'm going to be at home looking at the Raiders game. Chilling. On my couch right over here. I'm going to be looking at the Seahawks game. Chilling. You ain't going to go to heaven. What makes you think you going? Because everybody talking about heaven ain't going. But we got to get off the bullshit, man. I know it's painful to hear this, but we got to hear it, man. We got to hear it. I'm sorry. You got to hear this. Because change will not happen until you realize that what you're doing is wrong. And some of y'all still won't make changes because it's easy to just keep being a coon. It's just easy being a mammy. It's just too easy to be a Negro bedwench. It's too easy to do that. Why do the hard thing and act like a man or a woman is supposed to act? Oh, that's too hard. No, I just want to go out here and kiss white mommy's ass for a job. I'm going to go out here and kiss white zaddy's ass for a job. It's too easy. And then I'm going to go back down. I'm going to go to the family reunion and have everybody look at me and look how fresh and clean I am. Look how I shine, and look at the rest of you dusty niggas. I get tired of black folks doing that shit. Ooh, look at my CTS. I'm director of human resources. Yeah, and you have no power. You're a toothless tiger. You better not say nothing sideways to them white employees. I've seen black executives kissing the white custodian's ass. Some white cockeyed white dude with no education, sweeping and mopping the floor. They kissing his ass. And you supposed to be an executive. That's the power of white supremacy. And they're going to keep on killing our kids. They're going to keep on killing our women. And they're going to keep on killing our asses. And it ain't going to stop, people. You can blame me. You can point all the fingers at me and say, see, Iceman, the reason why we're in the condition we in is because of your black ass. You can blame me all you want. Let me tell you something. I got guys that have been listening to my show for the whole 8 years I've been doing it. And some of them I've fallen out with them. I can show you some of the emails. I've fallen out with these guys. Some of these guys have accused me, have sit up there and paid me a monthly paid subscription, and then turn around and go after me with the third party that collects the money. And say I tried to get over on them when it was the other way around. You ate the steak, nigga. You ate the steak. You can't eat the steak and then get your money back too. You can't get a refund and eat the steak. So I ended up, eventually getting my money. But it was appalling the kind of shit that black people do. We don't want to pay for anything. We don't think anything. I've had family sit up here and say to me that I should be giving them my book. Well, all the hard work, that's an insult. I ain't giving you shit. You want a book, you pay for it. You ought to be giving it to people. What for? You ain't give me no money. Why don't you come over here and pay my rent for free? Well, I ain't going to do that. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's how black people think. You ought to be giving us stuff. I'm like, dude, my time ain't free. And the information is free, but my time ain't free. You can ask my listeners. I'm talking about my YouTube listeners. My time ain't free, dog. You got to pay for it. And if you ain't willing to pay for it, get the fuck out my face. Because I don't do charity. I have a charity, but I don't do that kind of charity. But too many of us, black empowerment is a punchline to you. And that's one of the reasons why so many of our people are going to get left behind. You're going to get left behind. I ain't saying all of us going to get left behind, but a good number of us will, especially black people who are already hovering above the poverty line. Those black people are going to get left behind, and voting ain't going to fix that. Putting a Democrat in the White House after Trump ain't going to fix that. You had Obama in there for 8 years, and he wouldn't even acknowledge black people, other than telling black men to pull their pants up and singing Al Green songs, which didn't sound very good. That's all we got from Obama was Al Green songs. I didn't vote for his ass. Because again, presidents are selected, not elected. They letting Russia run rampant in this country. I've had at least 2 of my computers infected by these Russian assholes. And the number one reason, and I'm gonna let y'all in on a tidbit. I was gonna just put this in my book, but I'll give you a little preview. The number one reason why Donald Trump is so chummy with Putin is because that Russia represents the birthplace of Caucasians. There is a white supremacy connection. We already know that Donald Trump is a self-admitted card-carrying white supremacist. Matter of fact, he's a white identity extremist. That's why him and Putin are so cool, because Russians, they're some of the major white supremacists. You talk to black people that lived in Russia, I guarantee they had their ass beat at least once. Russians don't like black people. Even the ones that are over here, they don't like black people. I've had a couple Russian chicks try to push up on me. I'm like, hey, what's up with you? I hear an accent. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Moscow. I'm like, bitch, I ain't trying to talk to you. What you trying to talk to a brother for? I'm like, I don't need to talk to you. Because where I live at, there's a lot of Russians up here. Mother Russia! Mother Russia! The Russians, they be robust, boy. They be like, Mother Russia! Moscow! Okay? But you have to be aware of what's going on, not just where you live at, but this whole, the entire world. You need to have an understanding of what's really going on politically and economically around the world, because they're trying to subjugate us everywhere. Thank God South Africa is like, look, we taking our land back from you white motherfuckers. Okay? Cry if you want to. Now you got white folks, they all on YouTube. You got these white South Africans, man. They all basically they have taken our land, and we are now living. I'm gonna tell you what the funniest shit I see. I was looking. Somebody sent me a link to this video. This white couple, this ugly white couple. Oh, they was ugly as a motherfucker. Okay, they was like Red Fox. Remember Red Fox? You talk about white women on this show, talk about you ugly white woman. They was that ugly. Man, I saw these inbred motherfuckers. I was like, God damn, where they get these motherfuckers from? And they were like, well, we had a farm and they took our land, and now we live in this trailer park. And because at first, when I was first looking at it, at first I was like, that looked like over here. But then I look, they showed the ground, you know, all that dirt and stuff. I saw that ain't America, because unless that's in Arizona or New Mexico somewhere, parts of California. I said, and they got an accent. I said, where is this? So this is South Africa? And somebody was like, oh man, they taking the land back from them white devils. I said, oh shit. That's not good, man. And you notice they sending a lot of American military. They send a lot of special forces over there. I'm gonna say this in closing. Y'all better start paying attention to what's going on around here, man. You know why they're sending all them Navy SEALs and Green Berets and Army Delta and all these guys over here to Africa? They claim they're after terrorists. They ain't after no damn terrorists. You know what they after? Resources. because they don't want to tear up this country. You see what kind of crap, you see what kind of situation that this fracking has caused around this country, with them digging up, shooting that water into the ground and pulling that oil and natural gas out the ground. We don't want to tear up our own country for natural resources. So what we do is we go to other places around the world, namely Africa. And one of the main resources that they want is those special minerals that they need to make these the motherboards inside these cell phones. Okay? They need these minerals to make to put into these cell phones. And they can't, those minerals are nowhere else but Africa. So what they do is they got to make up an excuse. Oh, well, I think we got some terrorists over here. Ain't got no damn terrorists over there. They ain't got no more terrorists than they've been having. Then they over there killing black folks with Ebola. Ebola came from a petri dish over there at the CDC, just like HIV and AIDS did, and herpes and everything else, HPV, all that shit. And those of you who live in the Atlanta area, remember that young brother, that Navy scientist that ended up in the Chattahoochee River, talking about he committed suicide. Come on, man. You know why they killed his ass? They killed his ass because he told some folks outside of the CDC, and somebody heard him. He said that a lot of the diseases like flu and everything else that's out there was created by them. They can't have that. His ass ended up in the Chattahoochee River. Talking about he committed suicide. That man didn't commit suicide. When there's been 2 or 3 black judges and business owners up there in New York that got killed, and they said it was a suicide. They said there was a black woman who was a judge up there who was throwing them mafia motherfuckers in jail and other assorted white criminals. And they found her floating in the Hudson River. And when they did the autopsy, they couldn't find no water in her lungs. You know why? Because she was killed before they threw her in the water. Talking about she drowned. How many 63-year-old black women do you know just jump in some cold ass water and drown themselves? But this is the narrative. When they control the narrative, that's what happens. When you don't control the narrative in the media, that's what happens. And black folks believe everything they hear when white folks tell them something. That black woman wasn't suicidal, and neither was their young brother. 3 months ago, they found a brother hanging over there by Morris Brown over there in Atlanta. And they said that he killed himself. How many young brothers do you know hang themselves with a book bag on their back? Huh? Come on, man. But you can get away with that shit when you don't control shit. And it's going to keep happening. And they're going to keep controlling the narrative because we don't want to control it. It's time to wake up, black folks. It's past time to wake up. The alarm clock is already on the floor. And it's still ringing. When you going to get your ass up? And you can sit here and attack me and send me shitty ass messages talking about, yeah, ICE, you full of shit. You know, you ain't representing for the alphas and all. Man, don't talk that shit to me. Don't talk that alpha shit to me. Don't talk that church shit to me. Don't talk that religion shit to me. Don't talk about Jesus Christ. I don't want to hear it because none of that stuff is working for us. Get your Second Amendment game up. Get your documentation right. Make sure you're within the law. Get your concealed carry permit. Don't be running around here strapped with no permit. Don't be rolling around here with no strap and something in the chamber, and then you sitting up here get stopped by the popo. Don't get caught up out. Don't get caught up out here, man, like that. Just because you can legally carry a gun doesn't mean that you sit here and allow one of these cops to roll up on you and take you to jail because you got a loaded pistol in your gun, in your car. You store your weapons appropriately, preferably out of sight. Because unlike white citizens who don't go to jail for killing people, your ass will go to jail just for having a gun, even if you ain't got no record. So make sure you learn what the law is in your state, because they're going to be different no matter where you are. It's time to wake up, and it's time to start doing this thing the right way and running in the church, expecting your reverend to tell you what to do, or asking Reverend Al or Messy Jesse or one of these other so-called self-proclaimed black leaders to tell you what to do, or you waiting for the guys at your chapter, at your grad chapter at the frat to tell you what to do. Go ahead and wait on these folks to tell you what to do. And when these white supremacists out here when these white supremacists light your ass up, go try to find Reverend so-and-so in them to help your ass out. I guarantee you on your own. You guys can follow me on Twitter, The Iceman Show at Mr. Freeze. Follow me on Instagram, The Iceman Show. Check out my channel on YouTube, Mad Voodoo Man. My other channel is The Iceman Unchained. So go to YouTube. You want to check out any of my uploaded podcasts, you can do that. My paid subscribers get my premium content. You can go to asktheiceman.com, scroll down, and I got packages. Well, the package for the month, it'll say how much that is. But if you want to donate, you can go to asktheiceman.com. You can scroll down to the donate button, or you can choose one of the packages. You can donate for $3.99 a day. You can donate $5 a week. You can donate whatever you want a week. But I fundraise year round. We're focusing on fundraising for backpacks and school supplies and shoes. Shoes and socks. We're only buying shoes and socks because some of these schools have uniforms, but some of these kids, believe it or not, don't have shoes. And those of you who think it's not your job to help your people out, hopefully one of these kids that get a book bag will turn out to be a decent kid. Somebody showing them some kindness because they're not getting any kindness at home. But they see some people that look like themselves that are trying to help them. Some of these kids see that compassion and they're affected positively by it. Hopefully, because I'm gonna tell you right now, hopefully these, like I tell some of the people that listen to my show, I say, hey, I get guys say, well, why should I donate? Why should I help somebody else's kids? Because those kids you help might be the kids that might not be the kids that end up knocking you in the head when you get out of your car to go to the mall. That's one less guy that might end up knocking your ass in the head. Somebody got to show some compassion to these black kids. And if you ain't willing to do it, then donate money so I can do it. You can hate me all you want. I'm the messenger, dog. I'm just trying to get you straight. If you want to continue to keep doing things the way you keep doing it, go ahead. You ain't hurting me. But sooner or later, you're going to realize that this is the only way to do it. Either do it yourself or help me do it. I'm posting the link right now. You can go over there, show your love, do what you got to do. But again, you can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. Or you can follow me on Twitter. The Iceman Show at Mr. Freeze. You digs? You tune into the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Go by asktheiceman.com. You can also get my first book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. You can get an autographed paperback version at asktheiceman.com, or you can get this copy of this book at Amazon.com. You can get the paperback version I'm holding up right here, or you can get the tablet version or the Kindle version of this book. Okay? And my next book, the Dating Bible, hopefully I'll have it done by the end of the summer. I got a lot of stuff I got to do. I'm writing songs for my new CD, and man, it ain't going smoothly at all, because I got too much stuff on my plate, and I know I need to, I need to hire a personal assistant, but I just ain't found nobody I can trust. Plus, I need to get a model that I want to take a picture with for the front of my book. I need to get that done. I need to get that to the photographer. I mean, not the photographer, but I need to submit that once I get done with the book to the publisher. I got to get all that stuff done. So I got a lot on my plate. We're going to get it done. You tune into the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Go by asktheiceman.com. Holler at your boy. My Facebook cats. Hey, check this out, man. We're gonna do I wasn't planning on doing a show today, but we're gonna do a regular show tomorrow. Make sure that if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me on the gram, the Iceman Show. Follow me Twitter, the Iceman Show at Mr. Freeze. We got a lot of good information done today. The camera and the microphone was tripping earlier, so I had to keep get stuff taken care of. As y'all can see, these house niggas on Facebook. Y'all notice? Y'all hear the shit that these niggas was saying? These niggas was talking some stupid shit. Trying to accuse me of saying going out here beat up white folks. I ain't never said go out here and beat on white people. Never. See, If you wonder why black empowerment ain't never popped off with us, that's why. Because we got so many scary ass house niggas. So many scary niggas. So scared. They got to hide behind religion. They got to hide behind the church. They got to hide behind their coon ass behavior at work, trying to keep from doing real work. There ain't no substitute for black empowerment. We either gonna do it or we ain't. We either gonna do it or we ain't, people. We can keep faking it. We can keep faking it if we want to. Niggas is talking about let's eat steak, and the white supremacists keep offering us tofu. I don't eat tofu. You're not going to convince me to live like a roach while you eat steak. See, a lot of you guys don't get, a lot of black people don't get outraged over white folks, how white folks treat us. A lot of us we don't get outraged. See, I get outraged when I see a white man rolling down the street in a Tesla and I know his ass ain't worked for shit. He ain't done a goddamn thing. That shit is outrageous to me. I've seen white boys at jobs who didn't know shit that got promoted over folks that did. Even other white people who knew more than they did. But because they weren't white supremacists, they didn't get promoted. We're gonna do our show tomorrow. We're gonna do our regular show tomorrow. Fellas, let me explain something to you. We're gonna pick up where we left off on Saturday. From now on, Tuesdays are gonna be $5 Tuesdays. Okay, get ready to donate tomorrow. Let's get back to work. We got to raise this money. Okay, we had a good showing on Saturday. Everybody who donated, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. We still got a ways to go. We haven't hit 8,500 yet, but we're close. So we got to get up to 10 grand. All right. So get ready to go tomorrow. We're probably going to do the show. I'm probably going to sign on about 5:30. 5:30. So yeah, come by about 5:30 and get ready to work. All right. But like I said, again, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. If you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter, y'all. All right. Got a lot of work done tonight. Go by AskTheIceman.com if you want to sign up for a paid subscription. Go by there. Also, you can get my book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. Or you can go to Amazon.com and get a copy of my new book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. Remember, the Dayton Bible's coming. All right? All right, y'all. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow, God willing. Y'all keep the faith. Be safe out here. And remember, white supremacy don't have a hold on you. You got a hold on you. And you gotta let yourself. Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. Holler at your boy.